Okay, so let's carry on with the coaching process document. The last video took you very in-depth through how to coach the hostess through the hostess packet, and that's crucial because if she doesn't know how things work, if she doesn't know how the free stuff works, if she doesn't know what you're going to be expecting of her and all of that, it can't go well, right? So that is very important. Get that set, and then you're going to move on into the next step. So step 2 for the coaching process is make an invite for her on the Red Stamp app. This is a free app you can download onto your smartphone. And you can put together little invites like the one that you see there. All different kinds of colors, looks. You can have a blast with it. I make one that I like, and then for every party, I just change out the name and the date for a while until I get bored with it, and then I'll make a new one. So it's very simple, and once you have it basically in place, it's really convenient. So what you're going to do is send that to her, and then you can send her the wording that you see there that she can send on to her friends as a heads up that you're going to text them. Now, I send this to her. I ask her to send it out to her friends, but I am not waiting around for that to happen for 3 days before I reach out. So that's something I want to mention is you're giving her the opportunity to put that word out to them. And it's really nice because they get to hear from her and hear her excitement and all of that. I give them words simply so that I can try to help her say it in a good way and not be like, hey, I'm having a party. Do you want to buy Mary Kay? You want to come? Like, I don't want her to say that because that's not the point, right? So I give her wording and I send her the invite so that hopefully she can help build the energy. But once I've sent that to her and I've said, hey, send this out to your people, for your guest list, I then am also going to in a couple more steps, I'm going to contact them as well. So go ahead and send this to her, get the word out. And then step 3, send her a thank you note. I think it's really important that they get in writing your appreciation for their partnership with you. It confirms that you really are going to be there, especially when you're working with hostesses that you didn't know before you met them at the party. You get outside of your friends and family really quickly. And so these women, it can be helpful for them to be like, oh, wow, she wrote me a note. She's like seriously coming. So that's a really cool thing to do. You can have as much fun with that as you want. You could send her a hostess goodie pack with a box of, a brownie mix or, some goodie bag samples and just, say, hey, I'm so excited. I hope this helps you to be excited about your party. You mean a lot. Just, whatever's fun for you to really solidify with the hostess. So step 4 then is when you get the guest list from her. And that would be the day after you schedule. So like you saw in the previous video, I try to get any names off of her referral list right there on the spot. If she wrote people down that she wants to invite, then we're just going to take those names, and I have a guest list when I leave the party for her party. I love that. That's ideal. That way, the next day, I go ahead and send out the invitation and the words and everything to them. So they're getting, I'm getting responses from her friends that she told me about before I've even checked in with her. And then I can encourage her and say, hey, I'm really excited. I've already heard from Susie, Sarah, and Sally, and they're looking forward to it. And it just kind of makes her feel like she won and it's going to be a good party. Every hostess's fear is that no one comes, right? So then go ahead and contact her, get the names of any additional people she wants to put on her list. And then step 4, you'll start inviting the rest of her guests. And I try to do this as soon as I have the list, unless it's like more than 3 weeks away. If the party's more than 3 weeks away, that's kind of long. So I'll wait till we get a little closer to that 2-week mark, and I'll send out the picture of the invitation and then the text message that you see there, and then have them respond. And the way that I work with people in the pre-profiling, which is what this is called, when you invite her guests, it's called pre-profiling. You are putting the word out to them. You're supporting her in any texting she's been doing to people. And then you're finding out about their skin type so you can prepare the swag bags, which we'll tell you what go in those more in depth coming up. But also you'll be able to prepare their trays before everybody gets there for the party so you can start on time and not be losing time trying to ask people about their skin as they're showing up. Also, it gives you a chance to build rapport with this person before you meet them. Before the party, they start hearing your voice. They start feeling like, oh, she sounds normal. She sounds nice. And that's a good thing, right? So you're going to contact them the first time. You can either call or text the first time. And then I'll wait 2 days. If I haven't heard back, then I'll try the other format. I will text when I called the first time and left a voicemail. Or if I called and left a voicemail, I'll text the second time. So I'm just going to swap my methods to try to connect with people as much as possible. As long as they haven't replied and said, no, I can't come, or yes, I'm coming, then it's really important to continue to reach out. Think about how many messages come into you on a daily or weekly basis. And if you're busy in the moment, or if it's something that you need to think about and answer, it can be a little like, okay, let me do that later. And then later doesn't come because you forgot. So following up is really important. I will reach out a total of 3 times to the guests over a period of, 5 or 6 days. And then if I'm not hearing, that's when I'll go back into the hostess and ask her, hey, I haven't heard from Susie, Sarah, Sally, what do you know? And she'll, let me know, and we'll go back and forth like that. So I don't want to hound her people, but I'm going to follow up a total of 3 times to give my best to try to connect with them. And at that point, I've found if they haven't replied yet, they're probably not coming. It's just like they would reply, if they were planning to come. So once I connect with the person and they give me an answer, as you see in the dialogue below, the girl said, sure, I'll try my best. I responded, awesome. And I asked 3 specific questions. I have this text saved as a shortcut on my cell phone. If you don't know how to set up shortcuts on your cell phone, you definitely should. It's called text replacement, actually. It's wonderful. You type out a whole long phrase, and then you just make up a short little thing, the keyword that you type, and it'll, boom, enter the whole paragraph. So you're not having to retype this all the time or search through previous messages to find it. It's really nice. So when they respond, I just say, 3QU, which stands for 3 questions. So I'll do 3QU and boom, it puts this paragraph in there. And then when they respond, I respond one more time, giving her a little bit of feedback about her skin needs and products that I'll be sure to highlight for her. I want to encourage her that she feels excited to come, that she feels like, oh wow, there's going to be something I can learn or something that could help me. And encourage her in that way. And then I will add the last PS as an afterthought almost that, hey, they can bring a friend or a family member. That's more people for your hostess to get more free stuff. And then it's more people for us to meet. So I always throw that in and kind of plant that seed with them. So that's how I interact with her guests. And I go back and forth with them. I also make a note to a day or 2 before the party, go back and text everybody who said they were coming and tell them how excited I am, that I'm looking forward to it, and resend the invitation one more time because I want them to have that reminder from my end. I'm not going to leave it just in the hostess's hands. That's something I can control. And then step 5, along the way, check in with your hostess. Let her know who you're talking to, who's saying they're coming. Continue to encourage her about how fun it's going to be. Make sure she knows what to expect. What time are you coming? What does she need to have prepared? They can come with their eye makeup on. They won't have to take that off. Also, they can... she can serve some snacks if she wants, but save them till the end. Avoiding having kids there, just good pieces to make sure she knows. And then the day before the party, you're just finalizing guest list and making sure everything's in place with your hostess. So that's how to walk the process with her guest list, with working with her people, and back and forth all the way through that process until the day of the party. If you do this well and you get good at it, I am here to tell you it is insurance for your parties. It's not a party until you have a guest list. It's not a party until you have contacted the guest list, until you have people saying they're coming, because we're busy. We have a lot of things going on in life, and it's our job to step in and really take ownership for our hostess to make it a great turnout and a really positive experience for her and for the women who get to come.